In a single night of chaos in Caracas, the Venezuelan capital, an operation described by authorities as one of the most severe acts of U.S. military aggression unfolded at breathtaking speed.
Good evening. Great to be with you tonight. 2 days earlier than expected with that major breaking news that could shape the year, maybe even the century.
By dawn, Nicolás Maduro, president of Venezuela since 2013, was no longer in power. He was handcuffed, blindfolded, wearing headphones, and already aboard an American military vessel.
All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military working with U.S. law enforcement successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night.
Venezuela's military capabilities were swiftly neutralized as U.S. forces, operating in coordination with American law enforcement agencies, carried out the capture in complete secrecy. The arrest was executed at high speed by one of the most elite units within the U.S. Special Forces, Delta Force, a unit specializing in close-quarters combat and rapid extraction missions. These are the same semi-clandestine units known for targeting senior leaders of the Taliban and the Islamic State. Their core expertise lies in infiltration and exfiltration. On January 3rd, shortly after 2 a.m., massive explosions jolted residents awake across Caracas. The U.S. military had launched what was described as an unprecedented assault on the Venezuelan capital and surrounding areas. One key indicator of the seriousness of such an operation is the deployment of aircraft carriers. In this case, multiple aircraft carriers and warships were positioned in the region, demonstrating the scale of naval and logistical support prepared to project forces on the ground. Several strategic locations were hit simultaneously: the Fuerte Tuna military complex, the La Carota air base, the Miraflores presidential palace, and, a few kilometers away, the crucial port of La Guaira. Missiles and rockets struck their targets, fired from combat helicopters sweeping in from the air. Even before the bombardment fully subsided, helicopter formations were already visible over Caracas. When the first strikes landed, the helicopters were already airborne. Imagine being inside a Black Hawk helicopter. The explosion hits, the aircraft sharply pitches forward, accelerates, and surges ahead at extreme speed. Flying dangerously low, the helicopters skimmed rooftops and cut through narrow streets and alleys, staying close to the ground to avoid any remaining radar systems that might still be operational. In an interview with Fox News, Donald Trump later described the final phase of the operation, stating that Nicolás Maduro was captured in his pajamas by Delta Force operators while attempting to take shelter with his wife in a secured bunker.
Have seen what happened. I mean, I watched it literally like I was watching a television show. And to have a few injuries, but no death on our side is really amazing.
The mission followed a rapid infiltration and extraction model. The teams already knew which buildings they needed to search. Operators moved quickly through the structures, fully aware that time was extremely limited. It was around 1 o'clock in the morning. Only 30 minutes had passed from the initial strikes. Maduro was exfiltrated while in motion. The operators boarded their vehicles, which departed the area exactly as they had arrived. After more than 1 hour of sustained explosions, the bombardments finally stopped, leaving Venezuelan authorities unable to determine the whereabouts of the president and his wife.
Que al final de esta batalla, el pueblo de Venezuela saldrá victorioso. Que al final de estos ataques, nosotros venceremos. ¡Que viva la patria! ¡Que viva!
Following the announcement of his capture, a nationwide state of emergency was declared. Several senior officials denounced what they called a grave military attack by the United States and announced the full mobilization of Venezuela's military resources in response. Now detained aboard the USS Iwo Jima, Nicolás Maduro is being transported to New York, where he has already been indicted. According to U.S. Attorney General Pamela Bondi, the 63-year-old will face multiple charges linked to drug trafficking.